We're going to take a look at the Vectric gear gadget. This gadget could be used in Aspire, Vcarve Pro, or some of the other offerings of Vectric product. And this video is going to cover how to get two different diameter gears how to create two different diameter gears, and also how to have those two gears and ensure that those two gears have mesh and will operate and function mechanically with one another. So to start off with, we're going to go into the gadgets and then the gear making gadget. To start off with the first gear that we make, the diameter can be changed, and you could change the diameter in a few different ways, 3 different ways. One, changing the number of teeth, the diametrical pitch, and the pressure angle. This is an involute gear that we are going to be creating. So the pressure angle and the diametrical pitch is what is used to determine and create the profile or the shape of the gear tooth. So once we have entered in one gear and we want to have a bigger or smaller gear, the only way that we're going to be able to change the size of these gears and still be able to have them fit and mesh together is by changing the number of teeth. So I'm going to bring this number of teeth down to 20 inches and going to create and change the size that is going to put this gear in the center of my job. So going to go ahead and click create and then close. So this has given us one gear with a total of 20 teeth. If I want to have a larger gear that is still going to be able to mesh with this smaller gear, the only way I could do that now is by changing the number of teeth. So let's go ahead and increase that to 60 and then click create gear. So we now have two different gears of two different sizes. The profile of each one of these teeth is the same. So these are going to match together. And the way we could ensure this is using this circle of both of those. And we can see that is on a new layer, that is the pitch diameter. So that pitch diameter is what tells us how far away the center of this gear needs to be from the other gear. So if we just zoom in, and I'm going to use the arrows on the keyboard and just kind of bump that gear over until those two circles are touching. You could go in and measure the radius. That's the proper way of doing it between both, and then add the radius of both gears together, and that is the distance from center to center from each gear. But just quickly to show, once those are entered in there and we are touching, I'm going to just click on that gear to be able to rotate it around. And we could see that we have now a gear that is going to mesh and work mechanically with one another, and the sizes have changed. So again, the only way to ensure that two gears are going to mesh and work together is to be able to make sure that both gears have the same diametrical pitch and pressure angle. And then the only way to change the diameter of the gears is to change the total number of teeth. So that was a 60. We could go ahead and put in a 40 and create that gear. Closing that and then putting in and moving that off. And again, just using the arrow keys to make sure that those pitch diameter mesh up. That is where that gear is going to fit and have those teeth mechanically work with one another. So hopefully this helps clear up some of the issues you might be having with gears meshing and changing and not fitting with one another.